After 75 years of the brutal Zionist occupation in Palestine. On the 7th of October 2023, the Palestinian Liberation Movement launched an assault on the Zionist state of Israel, breaking out of the prison-like conditions imposed on Gaza by the Israeli occupation forces. The Zionist state responded with a genocidal onslaught on the Palestinian people. In less than a month, it had dropped 25,000 bombs on Gaza, the equivalent of the 2 nuclear bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, and massacred more than 10,000 people. On the 9th of October 2023, on behalf of the FRFI Student Society at SOAS University of London, our comrade Sarah made an impassioned defence of the internationally recognised right of the Palestinian people to fight back against occupation and colonisation. Yet which of these did the British government consider a crime? More than 4 months later, on the 31st of January 2024, in an early morning raid at her home, police arrested Sarah. They held her at Hammersmith police station for 8 hours before releasing her on bail, with conditions limiting her ability to travel.
My flat was raided by 7 police officers following my doxing by Twitter Zionists and pressure from UK Lawyers for Israel, and I was arrested at that occasion.
Over a year later, on the 4th of March 2025, she was charged under Section 12 of the Terrorism Act with supporting a proscribed organisation.
My alleged crime? Having made a speech on behalf of the SOAS Fight Racism, Fight Imperialism Society, in which I supported the internationally recognized right of the Palestinians to armed resistance against Israeli occupation.
The alleged offence carries a sentence of up to 14 years in jail. The Terrorism Act is an instrument of ruling class repression. Just as its precursor, the Prevention of Terrorism Act, was used in the 1970s and 1980s to attempt to silence and destroy support for the Irish liberation movement. Today, it is systematically being used by the British government to suppress expressions of solidarity with the armed struggle in Palestine. Yet in 1982, the United Nations ruled that oppressed people have the right to take up arms against their oppressor. Resolution 3743 reaffirms the legitimacy of the struggle of peoples for independence, territorial integrity, national unity and liberation from colonial and foreign domination and foreign occupation by all available means, including armed struggle. The SOAS II campaign was formed to defend Sarah and another student also arrested under the Terrorism Act for a similar offence. We've been outside courts and police stations and on protests, wherever the state is clamping down on those who speak and act for Palestine. Sarah has spoken at rallies in defence of the Filton 24, Kneecap, those arrested for supporting Palestine Action, lawyers and journalists persecuted the Terrorism Act, the Gal Gadot defendants, those have been expelled from universities for supporting Palestine. The list goes on. Now is a time for a movement against state repression and in solidarity with Palestine to come together and to defend Sarah at her trial, which begins at the Old Bailey on the 22nd of June 2026.
We need to continue on coming out, being the voice of resistance against British imperialism. The people united will never be defeated, but we've got to organize. It's going to take real effort from us. It's going to take struggle. Free Palestine. Resistance is not terrorism. Fight racism. Fight imperialism.
An injury to one is an injury to all.
Free!